Welcome in to the Bravely Attempt podcast. I'm your host, Wyatt Spalding, Special Nebraska athlete. And today we're joined by Sergeant Shriver Global Messenger Susan Wang. Susan, how's it going?
It's going really good. How are you?
Good. So Susan and I are Sergeant Shriver Global Messengers for the North America region, and we met at our training in May of last year. So, yeah, we've only known each other for several months, but we've been in several meetings over Zoom together and got to know
hmm
each other. So it's been going
Yeah,
good. But yeah, Susan, how about you start by just telling us how you joined Special Olympics and what it was like for you when you first started playing Special Olympics.
yeah, for sure. So I first joined Special Olympics when I was 14 after I was diagnosed. Um, At first, I didn't really know anything about Special Olympics and what it was like having a disability. But then after I joined Special Olympics, I finally felt like part of a team. And I found out they have one of my favorite sports, which was alpine skiing. So I was really excited to start and to be a part of the alpine skiing team. Everybody was so welcoming and inclusive. It was just so amazing.
Awesome. So maybe go more into I don't know a lot about alpine skiing. So what is alpine skiing? How does how does that all work?
For sure. So alpine skiing is downhill skiing and I race down the mountain, which is both scary and fun at the same time. I do the giant slalom courses, which is just going around gates, and I love it so much.
So what other sports do you do besides alpine skiing?
I do swimming, floorball, club fit, and track and field.
Awesome. That's great. Um, yeah, I've been to swimming contests. I don't think I've ever did floor hockey before. What's that like? That pretty fun?
It is for sure, yes. We did floor hockey for such a long time, and we just recently transitioned into floorball. So it has
Oh,
been really challenging to learn a new sport
yeah.
and to be able to play it.
Yeah, that's kind of the fun though. I started playing softball 2 years ago, and so I'm not very good at it, but it's also fun to learn a new sport, right? Because it's challenging, but that's kind of part of the fun, don't you think?
Definitely. I always love a challenge.
Yeah. So you're playing Special Olympics and doing all this stuff. How old were you when you first started maybe taking a leadership role in Special Olympics, like speaking wise and for your local program?
Yeah, so I think I first started in 2018 after I came back from the World Games for alpine skiing. At the World Games in Australia in 2017, I was in um lots of TV news podcasts. Think so. I was interviewed a lot for TV and the newspaper, so that kind of started it all. And then I was asked to join the BC Board of Directors, which was amazing, and I of course said yes. And then it just started from there into a more leadership role within Special Olympics.
That's awesome. So, being from you're from Canada, right? And so tell us something about Special Olympic Canada that maybe not a lot of people know, or what would you say is your guys' biggest event or something that you really enjoy about what Special Olympics Canada does for you guys?
Ooh, I really love the Day of Inclusion that Canada has. So every year, um, there is the Day of Inclusion, and they have the special donuts from Tim Hortons, which is always so good, and 100% of the proceeds go into supporting Special Olympics Canada, and that's always so cool.
So you're going along doing all this leadership stuff, and then you get the opportunity to apply for be a Sergeant Shriver Global Messenger. How did that come about? Did you find it online? Did someone from Special Olympics Canada want you to apply? How'd you hear about the application process?
Yeah, so I have actually heard about the social Shriver Global Messenger position many years ago and knew it was a prestigious leadership opportunity. I've always wondered how we can become the social Shriver Global Messenger, and it has always been my goal to rise to the top as an athlete and athlete leader. 2 years ago, when I was training to compete at the provincial games in alpine skiing, I was on the mountain and I somehow lost control and broke my pelvis in 3 places. It took me about 8 months to recover, and I was devastated when I couldn't compete. So I shifted my focus more into athlete leadership. A few weeks after I recovered, I was approached by the provincial staff, and they told me that applications are open for being the SGM, and if I was interested, I of course was super excited and interested. So they sent me the application, and I worked really hard at filling it out and making the videos.
That's awesome. Like, what a journey. You go from like breaking your pelvis to now you're a Sergeant Shriver Global Messenger. That's crazy.
Right? So crazy.
Oh man, so yeah, like what you done any cool events or any speaking engagements you've done with Global Messengers so far that's been your favorite or really cool experiences?
Yes, I would say one of my favorite experience so far as a GM was being invited to Pittsburgh to take part in a photo shoot where I went to the American Eagles headquarters and tried on Air's clothing, and then I met up with a US Olympic gymnast, Ellie Raceman, to film a Strong Minds video for a campaign for Special Olympics.
Great. Wow. That is cool. So you've been going along doing that and then you're going to Italy for the Winter World Games to do that. What for Special Olympic Winter World Games in Turin, Italy. Excuse me. So you're doing that in about a week, something like yeah, it's a week away. What are you excited about going to Italy? Have you ever been to Italy before?
Oh no, I haven't. So this will be your first time.
Yeah. Is there anything you're looking forward to seeing or doing in Italy while you're there?
Oh yeah, I really looking forward to exploring Italy and learning the history behind it. And I'm also looking forward to taking part in all the engagements and unified sports experience, meeting the honored guests, traveling, and meeting athletes from all around the world.
Yeah, that would be really cool for you to go. And then yeah, we get to go to the mountains, see them compete. That would be fun. Um,
Mm-hmm.
do you know if you have any speaking engagements coming up in Italy at all? Or have they not told
Mm-hmm.
you yet? You do?
I do, yes. So they told me that I have two speaking engagements. One is for the Global Youth Leadership Summit, and the other one is for the Motor Activities Training Program, and they will do a ski demonstration for the first time. So I'll be speaking on behalf of that.
That's so cool. I bet you're really excited for that.
I am, but also super nervous.
Yeah, I feel like it's good when you're nervous. So it's like that means you care, but it's like playing sports, right? You get adrenaline before you play sports. I don't know about you, but I get adrenaline before I speak. And then you feel pretty good after. I mean, like I thought when I first met you and you gave your speech at the training, it was great.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
yeah, you'll do great. And then talk about like so for those that don't know, when you're a Sergeant Shriver Global Messenger, you you have like a mentor with you as well. So someone that travels with you, helps you with your speeches. Talk about who your mentor is and your relationship with your mentor.
Yes. So my mentor works for the provincial office in BC. And she's just amazing. She just started with Special Olympics a few years ago, and recently she has been taking on more athlete leadership. So she was actually the one that recommended that I apply to become the SSGM. And yeah, she's just awesome in helping me with everything.
Wow, that's really cool that she was one that I didn't know she was one that told you about the opportunity to apply. So that's really cool that she's your mentor. So all right, so kind of like a little more into maybe your personal life. What do you like to do for fun in your like free time when you're not doing amazing stuff for Special Olympics?
I love to hang out with friends, watch movies, and I really love to make YouTube videos.
Okay. What got you into wanting to make YouTube videos and what kind of videos do you make?
I would say what got me into making videos was trying to stay connected with people during the pandemic. And then I just got a passion for it. So I kept making videos for everyone to see. And now I'm making ASMR videos to help people relax.
Right, so what's your YouTube channel called?
It's called Susan's Accent ASMR.
All right, cool. Awesome. Yeah, like I think I did the same thing. Like I was bored during COVID, so I started my YouTube channel. And it's a great way to get to people to know your story, right? And like
Mm-hmm.
know what you like to do. So would you say you have like so it's like a hobby? Would you like want to make it into a job someday being a YouTuber or
That would be a dream come true. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Is is there any like when you first got into making YouTube videos, did you just do it? Or is there like a YouTube channel you followed that inspired you to do it or taught you how to start a YouTube channel?
Mm-hmm. I have been I have been really bored at home, so I have been searching up YouTube videos and seeing what people were up to. And different channels got me really inspired to start my own channel.
Great. Um, and then I know just talking with you and some of the like especially in DC and with some of the Zoom stuff we done, you've been some pretty cool experiences outside of special Olympics. Like, is it true you did you go whitewater rafting and
Mm,
skydiving? Is that right?
mm-hmm. I did, and bungee jumping.
And bungee jumping? Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
that was a crazy experience.
Which one was the most scariest?
I would say bungee jumping because you can actually see the ground, which is way more scarier than skydiving.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, I guess skydiving, you can't really see the ground until it gets closer, right?
Exactly.
So when you went skydiving, were you like attached to like a professional then and then jumped, or did you just jump all by yourself?
I was attached to someone.
Okay, cool. Nice. And then I know like uh in our personal lives we all face adversity and everything. So what in your life has been like that helped you get through adversity? Like what adversity have you faced that helped you grow to this point to be a Sergeant Shriver global messenger?
I would say having a good support system like your family, friends, and your teachers really help. But finding the right support is a little challenging at first. But once you find it, then they will help you succeed.
Right, for sure. Um, I saw that you passed your driver's test, right?
I did.
Talk about that process because I know I saw you posted that no one thought you could be able to drive and it wouldn't happen, but you proved them all wrong.
Yeah. So I was super excited when I finally passed my driver's test. Since I was 16, my goal has always been to get my full driver's license so I could have freedom to go where I wanted to go. In BC, Canada, we have to pass a written exam, pass a road test to be a new driver, wait about 2 years, and then take another road test to get our full license. It's a long process, but I was really determined. The road test was probably one of the hardest things ever. After a few tries, I finally was able to pass, and it was a dream come true.
I bet like people don't really notice like yeah, some of that stuff, like doing simple stuff like moving out on our own or learning how to drive, like it just doesn't come easy. Like we can do it, but it just might take us a little longer and you did it. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And you need that car to get to work.
Mm-hmm.
And you just started correct me if I'm wrong, but you went through one whole year working full time, right?
Yes, I did.
What challenges and successes did you learn through working full time at your job? And also, what do you do for a full time job?
Mm-hmm. Yes, so I work full time as an early childhood educator and I work in the infant classroom. The infants are 10 months to 2 years, so it has been super difficult to keep up with them and be able to do everything. We have we have two teachers with 8 babies, and it has been really hard communicating and yeah, just keeping up with everything and our daily task.
Yeah, I bet. Like when you come home, I bet you're pretty tired after work. Or do you like?
Mhm.
Are you a person when you come home from work? Do you just rest, or you get more energy by going out and doing something fun?
I love to rest so much. So when I get home, if I don't have any sports, then I would just rest and sleep.
Yeah, I feel you. Like I had some jobs where I worked in retail, so you had to stand all day, and yeah, it's kind of rough. But I think it's true. Like we can hold jobs down, whether part time or full time. It just we get takes us a little longer to figure it out. Or like you had, you were able to work full time, and you proved that you could do it. I mean, and I bet you always thought you could work full time though, right? Did people like your parents or friends, did they think you could work full time, or did you have to like prove them? Prove to them that you could do it.
At first, they thought that me working full time was gonna be really challenging, and that I couldn't do it. They really wanted me to work part time, especially my parents, because they would see me come home every day exhausted. So they really wanted me to slow down, but I'm never about slowing down. I always love to keep going and keeping it consistent.
Yeah, for sure. So, so going through all your life changes in Special Olympics and just personally, like, what have you learned within these first several months from when we went to training in May to now you're about to do the biggest event and go to Italy? What have you learned from this process of being a Sergeant Shriver Global Messenger so far?
I learned that it's really important to be flexible and things may not always work the way you planned it. So always be prepared.
Yes, for sure. Well, thank you, Susan, for coming on and sharing your amazing story. And I can't wait to see and hear all the things you do for Special Olympics at the Special Olympics Winter World Games in Turin, Italy. So good luck to you, and I know you're going to do a great job.
Oh, thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you too. And thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. What a great interview with Sergeant Shriver, Global Messenger, Susan Wang. Susan, she went really into detail about kind of like not just the stuff she dealt with in Special Olympics with having a disability and learning about becoming a Sergeant Tribal Global Messenger and being a leader, but the stuff she deals with outside of Special Olympics, like proving to people that she could drive on her own, working full time. I think sometimes people don't really realize like pe athletes with disabilities, people with disabilities in general, like sometimes the smallest accomplishments are the biggest accomplishments to us. Like people take for granted maybe being able to drive or working full time. And when you listen to Susan's story, you can tell that, yeah, maybe she didn't work full time right away or get her driver's license right away at 16, but she did it. So that's what I really took away from Susan's story was, persevering and wanting to be a leader and, you know, have a voice for Special Olympics, and but then also just prove to society that she can like work full time and have a driver's license. So it was a great episode with Susan, and uh, I'll put the link to her YouTube channel in the description for the podcast. So subscribe to the Brave the Attempt podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and the Special Mix Nebraska YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us on Brave in the Attempt.